Yup, this is probably the biggest tier list. I'm not going to lie, the whole entire tier week. It's wide receivers. Of course, this position just has a lot of freaking dudes that are good and really competitive group for sure. Again, it is one of the positions that is really rising in the league, and the market's really growing because the NFL's throwing the ball more than ever, and you need guys that are in a lot of certain situations. Now they're really going toward yards after catch guys that are fast and get guess catch. But yep, that's kind of what I got there. Let's get right into it. 2023 NFL wide receiver tier rankings. Welcome back to the Fan of course. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed this 2023 NFL wide receivers tier rankings. Of course, happy college football kickoff Labor Day weekend. Obviously, hope you guys are having a great Saturday. This is pre-recorded though, so it's not on Saturday. I am not watching the games right now, sadly. But yeah, we're getting right into it. First, starting off again. This should be a good list again. I got 105 guys to go through, so let's get right into it right now. And starting out with a guy who, in my opinion, and Allen Robinson, who just is, he's washed. Like, with the Rams last season, I was super excited to see him because, again, 2021 with him was really frustrating to watch because he was on an offense that was just terrible. Like, the Bears' offense was awful in 2021. Like, they were really bad. He didn't really get the targets he wanted to, but he wasn't really making as many big plays as you expected him to, so that was a little bit of cause for concern. With the Rams last season, he never really figured it out. It wasn't just his fault that Matthew Stafford really didn't have connection with him. He's a guy who doesn't create any separation, and he's lost actually a lot of speed, and his route running's actually declined too. I can put him D tier. He's just super washed. Michael Pittman, I'll put in B tier. Could be an A tier. He just really hasn't broken truly out. Again, he had the 1,000-yard season back in 2021. He's a pretty consistent receiver. He had 99 receptions last season, but this year's going to be rough. I don't really expect him to do a ton, which is why I have him B tier, but in my opinion, he's a good receiver. Again, another guy who doesn't create too much separation, but he makes a lot of big plays. He has very good hands, and he also is a pretty decent route runner. Again, doesn't create too much separation, but that's kind of like how he plays. Like the way he plays, it's like that's just what it is. He's not a big yak merchant either, but he does make a lot. Again, pretty good route runner, pretty smooth in his routes. Again, not the most efficient or like get JSN type of break out of his routes, but at the top of his route, he's also pretty good. Josh Downs is gonna go in ungradable and not again rookie, but I do think he's gonna be like in this year, like he's gonna struggle in his rookie season. His catch radius is one of the worst in the league. I'm sorry, it's just like out of the draft that was his biggest concern. His hands overall aren't that talented, but again, very good yak receiver, can make a lot of guys miss. Decent route runner, not a great route runner though. Separation wise, pretty decent. Again, he's a slot receiver. His release package is pretty limited too. But yeah, for a rookie, I don't think, again, for a slot rookie, I do think he'll have a pretty rough year again. Especially since Anthony Richardson really still hasn't been able to read hot routes in preseason, which is kind of an issue. But yeah, it's going to be a rough year for him. I'll just put it like that. But I do think he could show some stuff throughout the season. Christian Kirk will go in B tier. Literally, the only reason he's not in A tier is because he just can't beat press coverage. And again, against man-to-man, he is just not that great. Again, last season, he did prove he could be in this A tier. But again, I had him like in C tier. Again, very good receiver, but I can't give him the A tier. I just can't. I don't see that from him. And even in the red zone, he's just not that great. Again, huge year last year. If he does it again, I will put him in A tier. But I'm just not the biggest Christian Kirk guy, and that's just what it's like there. Calvin Ridley is going to go in ungradable because he hasn't played in a year, but he would be an A tier because talent-wise, he's one of the most talented receivers in the league. That's just how it is. 2020, of course, the monster season. Then again, had like the mental health thing and then gambling issues and crap. So yeah, it's really good to see him. I drafted him in fantasy. If he sucks, I'm going to be mad, but if he plays well like I expect him to, should be an S tier one day. I mean, he's got so much talent. Like, again, as a football player, he's awesome. Zay Jones can go in C tier. A guy you think would be a really good deep ball. Again, for a guy who runs routes, like he's probably a deep ball guy. He isn't really that. Again, his deep route running is actually pretty decent too. Pretty efficient guy. I mean, he just makes plays. Breakout year last year. There's really nothing special about him though. Robert Woods is also going to go in C tier. I think he's still a reliable guy to get the ball to. Again, still a really solid run blocker, but his explosiveness and his big playability is definitely gone, and his route running might not be as good as it used to be. Nico Collins is also going to go in C tier. I'm not going to put him in D tier. He is one of those receivers that can make big plays and also have the ability to create separation for a bigger receiver. He just still hasn't really put it all together, but I just think when he's on the field, he is at least a decent receiver. Noah Brown's going to go in D tier. He's a guy who's going to flash in the pan a little bit. Again, doesn't create too much separation. He's just not, again, against man coverage, he doesn't really beat it too much, and his route running's a little sloppy, but he can make big plays when he wants to. D-Hop's going to go in A tier. You could put him in S tier, but again, he's getting a little older, and going with the Titans, I don't know what to expect from him. I do think he'll have a big year for sure, but I can't put him in S tier anymore. He's very close to a top 10 receiver, though. There'll be a lot of guys in A tier, but he's definitely towards the top of that. Traylon Burks, I'm going to put in C tier probably. I think he's actually a decent receiver. His route running last year was much better than I expected it to. Again, his deep ball, ball tracking, which I expected to be great, was great. His speed was definitely there too. Again, you might not think he was a fast dude, but he was actually a lot faster than he looks. His route efficiency, getting to the top of it too, is really good. Again, catch radius is decent. There's a lot of things to like about him, just hasn't really put it all together yet. He won't be great in the red zone though. Kyle Phillips is in ungradable. The reason I put him on this list is because I just want to say this. When he's healthy, I think he'll be a freaking monster out of the slot. Like, he'll create like at least 5 yards separation per route, which is kind of crazy to say, but he won't be a volume type of catch receiver. But he's really fast, and he's just a really good route runner with, again, not the biggest catch radius, but he really can jump as well. He's a really athletic player. Again, Kyle Phillips is one of my favorite receivers in the league. Very, very underrated. No one really knows who he is, but if he can stay healthy, which he isn't right now, he will be. I think he'll be really good. Nick Westbrook's in D tier. He's not an F tier because he does have the ability, again, pretty good catch radius. It does cause room for error for the quarterback, so that is good. But that's literally about it. His route running is pretty bad. He's pretty slow. I mean, he doesn't, again, no separation. But again, the catch radius is the one thing you have with him, which I'll respect for. But other than that, he's horrible. Cortland Sutton, I'll put it in C tier. I don't think he's that good of a receiver. Again, 2019 was really solid, but again, for a guy who's supposed to be a pretty, like, big, like, physical type of dude, he isn't really that. He can catch the deep ball, though, and does create some separation, which is good. I just don't think he's that great, in my opinion. Like, you can put him in B tier, I'd be good with that, too, but, like, he's a solid receiver, but he just doesn't really wow me at all. Jerry Jeudy will go in B tier. Again, the injuries are a little bit of an issue, and he still hasn't really broken out, but last season, he was good, so I will put him in that B tier. Again, the potential is really there as well. He should be able to get an A tier once he gets back. Tim Patrick, ungradable, he's played 2 years, but again, another guy like Kyle Phillips, when he's on the field, he's a very reliable player, good physical receiver, but unlike Cortland Sutton, he actually can run routes pretty effectively, so, again, he's probably not as good as Cortland Sutton, but they're very close in my opinion. Tim Patrick's a really reliable guy to have in the deal, but again, hasn't played since 2021. Marvin Mims Jr. gonna go here as well. Again, I think he'll be a step up against a rookie who probably a lot of slot, but in Oklahoma, if you saw him a lot, he was running a lot of out routes, which is good in corner routes. With Dylan Gabriel, pretty good at catching the ball over the shoulder, but like in terms of his actual like catching ability, something his hands are definitely stuff like naturally he's had to work on his career. He's definitely gotten better though. I mean, I liked him a ton at Oklahoma. Get pretty smooth route runner. It's nice to see, but he does sometimes level his routes off a little too early. Again, Oklahoma's playing around. I'm just so hyped for the freaking college football season. Let me just put it like that. But either way, this is, I think, yeah, Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen I'll put in B tier. He's still a good receiver, but again, he dropped off a lot, in my opinion, last season. Again, he's still a really good player. His route running's definitely still there, but his speed and his separation, his hands, and his really possession ability aren't just quite as sharp as they usually are. Mike Williams is going to B tier as well. Very well could be an A tier, but last season wasn't super healthy, and definitely had some times where he really struggled with separation, really catching the ball consistently. Josh Palmer's going to go in C tier. Again, guys, you dump it underneath you, he'll make a first down. Like, that's what he does. Again, really good third down receiver as well, but his hands are definitely not the best, and he's just not really going to beat man that well. Kadarius Toney, also C tier. I don't like Kadarius Toney. He's just like, again, as a returner, he's awesome, good gadget receiver, but he still hasn't really seriously proven that he's actually like a true guy, can like win consistently. MVS can go in C tier as well. Again, he'll make a big play a game usually, but just not consistent. That's kind of what it's been like his whole career. Very good number 3 though. And then Sky Moore I'll put in D tier. I'm really not that impressed with him. Again, he's looked good in the red zone at least. Can find ways to get up from there, and it actually does get decent separation, but he just drops a lot of passes, and I don't like him. His route running's pretty bad. Like Patrick Holmes making him look a lot better. And Devontae Adams, I'll put him in the number 1 spot right now because he's a guy who just gets a ton of touchdowns, and I'm going to be honest, I am a touchdown guy because if you can score, there's one thing between you getting a ton of yards, scoring, and getting receptions, but he just does all of that. Again, he's not the fastest receiver, but his route efficiency is one of the best in the league. He's just really good at that. And then again, like a top shot, he's awesome, nasty route runner. His release, though, is probably the best in the league. That diamond release is, again, one of the best in NFL history. Yeah, I'll put Devontae Adams at 1 because he's been very consistent and doesn't get injured. Well, at least since 2019, at least. So, at least since then. Whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Hunter Renfro's going to go in C tier. He played, like, D or even F tier last season, but, again, he was really good in 2021. Still, again, I think he'll be fine, but last season he just had the yips. He was pretty bad. Jacoby Myers C tier as well. He's a fine receiver to have. Now, definitely not your number 1, but, again, we talk about his stupidity, but he's a decent player. He does make big plays, so, yeah, I'll keep him there. Jahan Dotson, C tier. Again, I liked how he played as a rookie, but definitely some room for growth in terms of his route running for sure. Again, he could be a very, very good route runner. Brandon Cooks, B tier. Again, last season was a little bit of a down season, but we saw in the past he was here and maybe even, yeah, he was usually A tier, very, very good number. He was good number 1, but he doesn't have to be that in the Cowboys anymore, which I think very fits well at this B tier. Maybe he gets back to catching a lot more bombs. CeeDee Lamb is A tier. If you put him in S tier, I'm okay with that. I honestly don't even think he's better than DeAndre Hopkins, at least at this point, because of the fact that he's only had 1 a really monster season. Again, he's a very good receiver, but his route running is still has some work to do. But again, very good yak receiver as well. Again, CeeDee Lamb's just, again, the guy in that Dallas offense. Michael Gallup's going to go in C tier. He just, again, 2021 was, again, pretty good, but last season just wasn't the same, again, with that ACL. I think he tore his ACL. That was it, yeah. But he didn't look the same last season. A.J. Brown is S tier. Like, there's not many guys in the league that have the same speed and size as him, outside of probably DK Metcalf, but, yeah. He's very, very good. His route running's never going to be that great, but he just, again, his monster season. Devontae Smith, A tier, very close to S tier, just really isn't a #1 receiver, so you can't really get that what is called featureness there, the featured receiver, but he is ridiculous. Quez Watkins is going D tier. He's really just fast. That's about it. I mean, one big play this season you saw against the Vikings last year, then against the 49ers back in week 2. So I'm actually gonna make a bet against the Vikings. He'll catch like an 80-something yard touchdown, something like that. Darius Slayton's going to go in C tier. I don't think he's a bad receiver. His separation skills have definitely got better. He's a pretty fast receiver in my opinion. Again, well, he was the Giants' #1 last season. He figured it out. Okay, like, he did get double teamed the line, did get beat up, but his route running has definitely improved a little bit. Again, never been a big separator, which is okay, because, again, he's never been the, most sharp route runner either, so it's okay, but, again, he's been able to hold his own for sure. This is Paris Campbell, C tier. When he's healthy, he's good. Like, he's never been great, but, like, I think we definitely saw that last year. But he does create some separation. He makes it a lot easier on your quarterback, too, because his catch radius is honestly pretty good. Isaiah Hodgins, C tier. The only reason he's in C tier is because he's a solid route runner, very reliable there. His hands aren't that crazy, though, and he and then is like, we'll talk about Jared Goff and Josh Reynolds later, which is in a little bit. But the only reason he's here and really have a role, like a big role in the NFL, is because him and Daniel Jones have like a special connection. Jalen Hyatt, I'm really excited to see what he does. I'm not gonna lie, I think he'll have like 5 or 6 bombs this season. He is one of the best deep route runners I've seen coming out of the draft. Sterling Shepard, he could be in B tier, but he's never healthy. So, that's what I'll say. Like, as a receiver, he's probably the Giants' best receiver. But again, tore his ACL last season, he's just never healthy. That's why he's in C tier. But, like, as an actual receiver, he's good. Wando Robinson going to go on ungradable. Saw a couple games from him. He didn't really do a lot. I don't know. Like, not really fair to grade him. DJ Moore's going to go in A tier. Again, I get the fact that he wasn't great last season to at least start, but towards the end of the season, he figured it out. Like, honestly, he was a lot better in the red zone as well. Like, a lot more physical. Again, he still has some stints where he's just bad. Like, I mean, not bad, but, like, just kind of, like, out of it. So, DJ Moore definitely has some stuff to do, but I do think he is a really good #1. Darnell Mooney's going to go in C tier. Last season, he just didn't really stay healthy. Again, 2021. Again, kind of just that #2 receiver, but I don't know. He just didn't look the same last year. Chase Claypool's going to go in D tier. I don't think he's a good receiver at all. Since 2020, he's been really just not very good. I can see why people could put him in C tier, but, like, he's not good. Like, yeah, he's a dumb football player. Not, like, I don't think he's, like, actually stupid, but he plays stupid, and his route running's terrible. Like, I don't know what else to say. Talent-wise, he's probably a little higher, but, like, he's played just never been, like, 2021, 2022. Oh, God. Amon-Ra St. Brown is also A tier. One of the best route runners in the league. Is he like one of those explosive or fast dude like Devontae Smith? No, but he does get open. This is, I think, Marvin Jones Jr. He'll go in C tier. Respectable receiver. That's not him. But yeah, respectable receiver. Probably get a couple touchdowns. Just old now. That's all I'll say. Jameson Williams ungradable. He had that one bomb, and then he had like that one PI touchdown against the Packers. Very interesting receiver. I think he's out 6 games for gambling. He's got to pull his crap together, though, because I really haven't really seen him yet. This is Josh Reynolds. He will actually go in D tier. I don't think he's that great of a receiver, but again, he would probably not be at, like, he'd probably like a 5th, like, again, do I put him in C tier? Yeah, I'll put him in D tier. Like, he's a 4th receiver, and that's what Jared Goff likes, but he and Jared Goff, again, they have a very good chemistry, and that's really why he has a role in the NFL. He's not as good as Isaiah Hodgins route running-wise, or just over talent-wise. It's probably why he's not as big as a role, and again, they don't really need him as much, but he's definitely a reliable receiver for Jared Goff, which is big, because, again, really good chemistry there. Cleve Raymond's also D tier. Again, I liked him in 2021, but last season kind of had a minimized role. Again, he's not again, he was probably a C caliber receiver. Again, never a #1 like he was supposed to be after in 2021. Like, no one expected much of him either. Did surprise a couple of heads, though, like me. I didn't think he was going to be that good, so that's all I got to say, though. Like, he's okay. Oh, God, there's so many guys to go. Christian Watson, also put in C tier. Again, such high potential. He definitely could be in B tier for sure at one point, but still a lot to do. Romeo Doubs is in D tier. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like I just don't think that Romeo Doubs is a good player. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, he doesn't create much separation. Yeah, decent hands, but like I don't see it with him. That like why people like him so much. Like, I really don't. Jaden Reed, ungradable, obviously. At Michigan State, he was their #1 guy. Very inconsistent route runner, but he can definitely show up when he needs to. Like, absolutely need to. Justin Jefferson, I think he's the 3rd best receiver in the league. We'll talk about why. No, you know, he's probably at the 3rd. Justin Jefferson, in my opinion, The really only difference between him and Davante Adams is the fact that he's probably a better overall player. Like, overall, like, all, like, things mano a mano. But he gets shut down at least twice a season. And there's, again, Davante Adams, again, I get the fact that he does get shut down, but at least he's effective. Josh Jefferson, honestly, is a really good pass. I think he's actually a decent run blocker, too. But we'll talk about him. I do think just Davante Adams has been doing it for long. That's really the only thing there. And he doesn't get as frustrated. The one game against the Saints, forget about that. Because the rest of the season, he was awesome. But again, they're very similar. They do get shut down a little bit. I just think Davante Adams is just more effective in the red zone, which makes him, in my opinion, more a valuable player. But yes, Justin Jefferson is going to get shut down a couple games this season. Just need a little more consistency overall from him. That's all I'm asking. He's elite outside of that, though. KJ Osborne's going to go in C tier. He's a good number 3, good yak receiver. That's about it, though. Like, he hasn't really shown me much outside of that. Jordan Addison, rookie receiver. He should be fine. But yeah, like, he's a rookie. Good comment draft though. Mike Evans is A tier. He's not my S tier receiver. It's just, I don't even know what to say. Like, he just wasn't, again, outside of that one game he had against the Panthers, he just wasn't the same player. But, like, not all his fault. Like, Tom Brady wasn't really throwing him the ball as much. But then again, like, he definitely didn't have his best year last year. But for sure, again, he's Mr. Consistency. Chris Godwin will go in B tier. He's a good receiver, but I don't know what else to say. The fact that, like, he got forced a lot of balls last season. He wasn't creating any separation. Really wasn't doing anything to really get those targets. But his hands are still there. I definitely think he could be better this year, though. Let's see if that injury can really go. He can come back from that injury for real this time. But yeah, he's still a very good receiver. Russell Gage is going C tier. He's a reliable slot. Like, he's good. One of the better ones in the league, in my opinion. Creates some separation, catches the ball. Just not gonna really do much after that, though. Like, that's really what separates him and from some of the other dudes. Like, just maybe not as explosive. Drake London's also C tier. You could maybe put him in B tier, but, like, again, he has Desmond Ritter. Like, he's not going to get the ball as much. But talent-wise, I really don't know what to expect. Because, like, again, you think of him as, like, that guy who can go up and get the ball, but we really haven't seen any of that yet. And he's really just been that underneath possession guy who has really had to work for his yards, which isn't a bad thing because he is a pretty good run blocker as well. I just want to see him get a lot more separation, that too. But, again, he's a good player. Scotty Miller's going to go in D tier. I'm not going to put him in F tier, but he's really just not a bona fide receiver. Like, that's what I'll say. Matt Collins also D tier. A couple big plays this season, but that's about it. Adam Thielen C tier. He's at least decent, but like, again, solid route runner. But his separation even his red zone skills aren't there as much anymore. DJ Chark's also gonna go in C tier. Just isn't healthy, but it's a receiver. It could be B tier, and really hasn't been a number 1 since 2020, where he also got hurt. Terrace Marshall's an F tier. He's been bad. Like, that's what I'll say. Jonathan Mingo here is gonna go. Probably gonna take Terrace Marshall's part at one point, because again, he is a physical receiver who just works for a lot of yards. Michael Thomas ungradable. I really haven't seen him play, like, actually, like, literally play, like a good amount of time since 2019. Like, we don't know what he actually is right now. Chris Olave, B tier. He's not going to go to A tier because he wasn't, like, Justin Jefferson-esque, but he's really freaking good. Rashid Shaheed, C tier, because it's just the value he brings overall. Honestly, is he like Scotty Miller? I think he's a better route runner, better hands than him, so I will keep him in C tier. Who is this? Greg Dortch will go in D tier. He's not really a true receiver, but I will say this: he does run routes pretty well, and he does get open. So I'll keep him in not F tier, but D tier. Ryan Moore, really good rookie season. Last year a little bit rougher, but he does still get open, and he does make plays. So I'll keep him in C tier. Debo, A tier. Again, he's not the best receiver. His route running's but he does have decent hands, not great hands. And the fact that he just breaks a ton of tackles, he's the best yak receiver in the league, keeps him in A tier, and he's also basically a running back too. So, all that in mind, he's in A tier. He's not S tier, though. Brandon Ayuk's B tier. I'm not putting him in S tier. He just runs too many slants for me to do that. But very smooth route runner. Outside, it's like different than CeeDee Lamb, though, like, because it is a little more fluent. So, I'll give him that too. Again, good hands. Can actually go up and get the ball as well. And he's shown a little bit of deep route running. But I want to see him catch a lot more, like hard balls. Because he didn't have a ton of, like, contested catches last year. Johan Jennings is C tier. He was awesome his rookie season. Like, maybe not like the yards wise, but in the playoffs he was money too. I think he's good. For a physical, he's like there's a rare guy where he's like a slot receiver, but he's big. You just don't see that a lot. Last season just wasn't as good. I think he's a decent receiver though. I'll put him in C. I don't think he's D caliber. Cooper Kupp, in my opinion, is the second best receiver in the league. BS talk all you want about the injuries, but when he's on the field, there's never a game where he gets freaking shut down. Since 2021, I haven't seen a game where he's had like a bad game. Like, oh god, like Cooper Kupp just got dogged on. Hasn't happened yet. Van Jefferson, C tier. I think he's a decent receiver. Again, had a really good 2021 last season. Just wasn't that great injury-wise as well, so he's going to take a step, though, for sure. Tutu Atwell, also C tier. I think he can hold his own. He's definitely shown to be better in route running. He's also breaking a little more tackles. Again, for a guy who's one of the fastest receivers in the league, watch out for him. Ben Skoronek's going to go in D tier. He's a good, fun gadget receiver. That's, at least this point, at least kind of about it. Puka Nacua, again, another rookie. He is probably, outside of probably Quentin Johnson, he's probably going to be the best yak receiver in the whole league outside of, my bad, for all rookie wide receivers. He just gets a ton of yards. He creates a lot of separation, too. I don't know how he does, but he does, so that's kind of what I got to say about him. But he can definitely play. Quentin Johnson, for a guy who's supposed to be kind of like a physical receiver, I'm not surprised at all that he just breaks a ton of tackles and gets a ton of yak yards, because that's kind of what he does. JSN, I'm already going to put him in B tier already. He's really the only rookie that I'm, like, that confident in. Again, he might not be healthy just yet, but his route running's the best. Really freaking good. Like, again, he's doing, again, watching him I'll put him here, too. Like, just chill. But I think I'll be in B tier. Tyler Lockett, A tier. Very good deep ball tracker. I already talked about it. I respect him a ton. He's great. George Pickens, C tier. Just, again, so much potential, but we haven't really seen him, like, really consistently do it yet. Marquise Brown's B tier. He's a #1 receiver, but on the Cardinals, good luck. Alec Pierce, D tier. Again, soft rookie season, but I do like the big plays from him. Tyler Boyd, C tier. Again, kind of speeding this up, but no, put him in B tier. My bad. Again, the really only reason he's here is because he could be an A tier, but he hasn't been a #1 since 2019. That's kind of what keeps him here. But again, last season, kind of a down season, kind of. But yeah, for a #3 receiver, he's by far the best one in the league. Cherry McLaurin is, honestly, I'm not putting him in S tier. I'll put him right at the, no, I'll put him in S tier. Like, no, I can't. Do I? I'll put him in S tier. Terry McLaurin's awesome. Stephon Diggs also S tier. Wait, does this make sense? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, that's 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'll put him here. Devontae Smith, in my opinion, is the 10th best receiver in the league. Just so you know. I mean, like, yeah, probably go right there. But Stephon Diggs is a #1 receiver, obviously, like a really freaking good one. I do like the fact that he has increased in touchdowns, but I definitely think that there are times where he does get the emotions better of him, and he's never been a good blocker at all. He's kind of I want to say, honestly, pussy blocker. Like, that's kind of what he is. Don't respect him for that either. His route running is a little inconsistent too, but I mean, it's him. Like, he is him sometimes, so I gotta keep that in mind too. Gabe Davis is C tier. He's not great. Like, yeah, big play is good, but like that's about it. Like, he just doesn't do a lot outside of that. Khalil Shakir also C tier. He can really play, and he's a really good yak receiver. Tyreek Hill's also S tier. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7th. Honestly, he's probably the 7th best receiver in the league. We'll keep going. Jalen Waddle A tier. He's not an S tier because again he's with Tyreek Hill. That's literally what keeps him from there. Tyreek Hill's also the fastest player in the league if you didn't know. Cedric Wilson C tier. He can really play, but like, he didn't really get to play last year. Garrett Wilson, B tier with Chris Olave because, like, yeah. He didn't catch a ton of touchdowns last season. I didn't really see too much of a difference between him and Chris Olave. Outside of the fact that Chris maybe didn't make as many big plays. Mecole Hardman, C tier. He's not really a bona fide receiver, at least at this point, but he is a good player. Honestly, Allen Lazard's in the back of B tier. He was a #1 last season, and I think he performed pretty well. Provided you a lot of solid run blocking and as well. Pretty solid route runner again. He's not the fastest dude, but he also can go up and be at least contested receiver. Again, not that much of a separation dude, but I do think he's a good receiver. Like, I do like Allen Lazard. Juju is going to be in B tier as well. Again, was the #1 receiver with the Chiefs last season. Not really though, because they have Travis Kelce, but he was really good. Devontae Parker, C tier, big play guy, but that's kind of about it. Kendrick Bourne is in D tier. I just don't like him a lot, and he really hasn't shown me much since 2020. Now we go to Tyquan Thornton. He is ungradable because he really hasn't gotten really true time yet. And then Jamar Chase isn't probably going to, yeah, he's an S tier too. Terry McLaurin's an S tier literally because I think if he's in any of these other teams' quarterback situations, he'd have more yards than these receivers. That's literally why. T. Higgins, A tier. Very good receiver. Like, physical type of deep threat guy. Never really been the best possession receiver, but he definitely can improve there. This is Rashad Bateman. C tier. He's never on the field, but when he's on the field, he's looked good. Odell, ungradable. Like, he's torn both his ACLs in the past 3 years. Like, I don't know really what to expect from him. Zay Flowers, again, another rookie. We'll see what he can do. I do think he's probably the most comfortable guy I have, like, starting on my, I was on the team starting. Because, again, hasn't really shown that he gets hurt a lot, and he's just really good. Deontay Johnson is still in B tier. Again, 0 touchdowns last season. Really wasn't that productive. But, I mean, the quarterback situation was crap in Pittsburgh last year. I mean, Kenny Pickett was decent, but still, like, just not really yet there. At least now. So, B tier. DK's an A tier. I can't put him in S tier. Again, maybe 2020. But he just really doesn't, again, put up the same type of numbers. Again, Terry McLaurin is a little bit of an outliner. And I definitely don't think his route running is the same notch as these guys. Maybe it's A.J. Brown, but, like, A.J. Brown got out of that monster year, which DK really hasn't shown yet. I mean, he's shown it, but it has consistently shown it. Coach Sanders in C tier, again, kind of like, he's a poor man's Deebo Samuel, but the only issue with him is he just doesn't really catch the ball as much, so I gotta keep him in C tier. But yeah, he's a very solid receiver. So, that's all I got for this, what is called the 2023 NFL wide receiver tier rankings. Of course, that took a long time. There's a lot of guys, a lot of draining guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, though, and yeah, see you in the next one. I mean, Devontae's my number 1 going in the year. Cooper Kupp's my number 2, even though he might not play week 1, and probably will get hurt for another again. Justin Jefferson's my number 3. A.J. Brown's my number 4. Stephon Diggs my number 6. Number 5 is Tyreek. 7 is Jamar Chase. 8 is there we go. 7 is Diggs. 8 is McLaurin. 9 is Diop. 10 is CeeDee Lamb. 11 is Devontae Smith. 12, and then yeah, you get the rest of the list. That's all I got for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, see you in the next one. Of course, it is the video that everyone was gonna probably watch because it's quarterbacks. Yup.
Saints drop back, just rushing 3. Herbert got a man down the sideline. All alone is Mike Williams. And he will prance into the end zone for the go-ahead touchdown. 64 yards. Herbert found Williams for the score.
It's Hunter Henry. Last time we saw 3rd down, he ran an out route. This time, they're going to do the same, but Patrick Robinson, watch him. He bites, he sits down and lets Mike Williams go right by him. It's a great job of play.